October 1st, ladies and gentlemen. It's been 3 years since that Route 91 tragedy. Crazy. Time flies, but you know what? It still it still affects a lot of people, even to this day. I read a article or not, a tweet earlier, and it said that earlier this year, two more people passed away from complications of injuries from Route 91, and it was 3 years ago. So there's a lot of people still dealing with or who are still affected by that. Rest in peace to everybody. It was a crazy time. I remember I was supposed to work it with one of our friends.
I
And I
remember
ended
you
up
calling
getting,
me that night. You called me that night. I just woke up from my nap. I just got off
yeah,
from work, and I was like, I don't even know what's going on. It was like tripping, man. And then start seeing on the news, and I was like, wow, this is surreal. I was,
yeah,
I
man.
was like, I couldn't believe it, And and then I remember like on Facebook, everybody like there was a thing on Facebook, it says like if you're safe, whatever, like the status and
Right,
stuff
you mark yourself safe.
and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
it was crazy. I
Where were you at?
still,
Was you? Yeah, you were at home, right? You were at
yeah,
home.
I was at our old house where we used to live. I was literally on the couch. It was like just got off work. I was tired. I woke up and I was getting phone calls from everybody. Then I had to contact my family, make sure everybody's cool. And yeah, and then yeah, it was just weird, man. Especially because I had to keep going to work, like after, and then
Yeah,
driving by Mandalay Bay and like looking at that the 32nd floor with the windows all blasted out and stuff. It was like it gave me chills, man. I was like it like I don't know why and also got me emotional too. I was just like, ooh, it's just like that feeling in your chest, like you're like, oh, that butterfly.
yeah.
So
A
that's
bad
why
feeling though.
it's what yeah, it was crazy. Vegas strong forever for sure.
Very strong, most definitely. I think that tragedy actually brought a lot of us more closer together as a city, as a community. At least for some time after that. I remember, like I said earlier, I was supposed to work it. I was expecting to work it. I got hired at another bar. I remember one of my first shifts. It might have been no. It was a few more shifts into it, but um, that's when it popped off. I was going in for the graveyard. On my way to work, I just seen a whole bunch of cops heading to the strip. But I don't want to like relive that night. It was a crazy time. I remember working the bars, and around the neighborhoods. And when I would work, I would see like everyone during for a short while after that, like everyone was like more. It almost like people were bonded over that because like we had something to, like it hurt us all. It hurt us as a city. So people were like more, like open to talk to a stranger across at the bar. I remember that. I was working bars during this time. I was working bars all over the city, like northwest, central, south, everywhere. So I'd work all the neighborhood pubs, and that's what I seen. That's what I experienced. But like I said, like it gave us a lot of strength, man. Well, the Golden Knights, their inaugural year, they ended up going to the Stanley Cup but losing. But we've had friends, who worked it, and man, yeah,
Yeah,
it was
well,
a crazy time.
rest in peace to the 58, the great 58.
Rest in
You know,
peace.
every year
Yeah, man.
October 1st, remembering you guys. So
Exactly. And we don't
it's
like to
also
start things off on a sad note, but we have to acknowledge that that's today, and we'll
for sure.
always remember that.
It's also I think it's going to be a important month for me. I don't know if you're doing it, but I'm going to be doing participating. I am participating in Sober October.
Hey,
Originally got that idea from Joe Rogan and his friends, and they would do like bets and stuff. But I think it's important to, you could be sober at least 1 month out of the 12 months, you know, just
Yeah,
chill out on
yeah,
everything and kind of reset. I did do it last year, except I kind of like messed up because like I, I was drinking way more back in the day. I was like, doing some other stuff, but it was like I stopped all that stuff and I got like really hooked to caffeine, because that was like the only high that I could get in a way. So I was like going to like Dutch Bros every day, getting like double shot of
getting
Americano.
the sweetest
Yeah. And then,
macadamia nut latte.
yeah. And then after that, like even worse, like eating like really fat, rich foods, that gave you that food coma,
Lechon
food,
every day, Full House
lechon
barbecue
with the Java rice, with the
with that
calamansi,
Java
bro.
rice. Oh, that
And
shit hits sizzling.
yeah, so uh this year I think I'm gonna, you know, eat clean, be sober just for 1 month. How
Just for
about
the
you?
month, though.
How about you though?
Listen, I
Uh-oh.
excuse me. It's the weed cough. It's a weed
Mm-hmm.
cough. I broke that already. You know what? Hey, look. Here's what I'm willing to compromise for this month of October because it already takes a toll on me so much, and I don't even enjoy it. I'm not gonna lie. I don't even enjoy this nearly as much as I used to, which is drinking. I will not drink. I will not. I will try my hardest. No, sober October pledge. I will not have a sip of alcohol for the whole month of October. And to me, that will not be a problem. It won't be a problem. Weed, on the other hand, I'm gonna have to smoke a little bit of that every day because it just keeps me balanced. It's like vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc.
Yeah, it
It's
is
it's the whole
medicine.
thing. You know what I mean? Herb, man. I just seen the clip earlier. Another one, just a classic herb meditation. You know, herb is what you need. Give a little time for yourself, and
Yeah,
that's what
I
it
had
is. You know.
my last couple like drinks last night. Had like some White Claws and shit. And I just woke up like
Why you been on
feeling
that
like shit.
seltzer?
Yeah, yeah. I'm also on keto. I'm on the keto diet, low carb. I got to
So that
keep
shit was
it.
getting you faded.
Yeah, that shit, dude. I drink like maybe two or three. I felt like I was like 21, dude, back in excess nightclub, dude, getting all faded and shit.
Oh
So,
shit! Those were
so, yeah,
those
I'm
were
on the
the
keto
days.
diet too. So I'm trying to
AMFs.
trying to cut the weight before,
I know you're getting fucked up.
yeah. So 2021, here I come.
You're on that keto intermittent fasting. Yo,
Yeah,
you might as well fucking just, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, I do that. Yeah, it's a little bit much, man, but I think we just have so much time right now since during the pandemic, and
Yeah,
it's just
right.
like, man,
You're right.
why not? Shit, I might even go on a fucking 3-day water fast, dude. Why not? Shit, get all fucking yogi, get I'm gonna fucking
Yo, you
meditate
about to
three
have a
days
real
straight
clear mind soon. Like you about to be so but you trying to reach Buddha status right now.
every day.
Shit.
That's life's goal right there. Reach Buddha status for sure.
Listen, I do agree. You do have to have discipline. You have to make yourself do hard things. You have to push past this discomfort. It's good for you. It trains you to do a lot. That translates in other areas of your life too. So working on yourself, all these things, working on yourself, giving yourself challenges, being disciplined. It's not always fun, but it's like it translates into something else that makes better quality of life. You know do the hard things, man. If you train yourself to do the hard things, then life will be a little bit easier for you, I think. you know
Speaking of hard
Whatever it is,
things,
push past discomfort.
yeah, push past discomfort. Let's talk about
Oh.
like discomfort and something that's uncomfortable. Let's talk about the presidential debate. Let's do that. Let's talk
Oh
about
my
our
god.
great country of
yo
America.
yo
And
is this like a play? Is this a movie that we live in right now? Because that was some crazy shit. What'd you think of it? I'm gonna
I
go
think
next.
it was I didn't watch the whole thing. I had to like I tried to watch the beginning and like I think it was a disaster, but it was also entertaining.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I think that I felt like Trump was like a fucking airhead, dude. Like the fucking candy, like his head was just turning red. It was getting bigger and bigger because he was just trying to like talk as much as possible. And I swear that dude's like on Adderall or speed or like Coke or something because he's just like yapping
yeah, yeah.
nonstop. Like he
Man, crazy.
that
Yeah.
was his plan though. I think that was his
Listen,
plan, just to speak as much as possible and not let Biden get any word in. But what about you though?
oh my God. So look, I watched a little bit while it was live, and then I had to leave. I went to dinner, and then I came back and looked it up and watched the whole thing, the debate, not the lead up to it because that shit was like 3 hours. But I just from the very first question to the last, I watched, and wow, what can I take away from that? Watching, I was just like, no, I try not to get too upset because I knew that's what it was gonna happen. Was a lot of people were gonna be, you know, stressing and triggered, and it was like embarrassing almost as well. Well, yeah, it was embarrassing because you're sitting here and you're looking at like, you know, two candidates of the free world, you know, to be the leaders of the free world, and they can't even be civil. They can't even be civil with each other. In fact, you feel like, yo, like they were about to box it up or something. Like,
I'm down.
Joe Rogan said, what Joe Rogan say? He said, we don't need me to debate this or to mediate this. We need Big John McCarthy. And Joe Biden called Trump a clown a couple of times, the worst president ever. He told him to shut up, and then Trump goes in and snarks, and he's like, he's like, Biden said something. Oh, I'm smart, and then or he said something and used the word smart, and Trump is like, he says, did you just use the word smart? Like you graduated at the bottom of your class and this and that. But it was just like, and then Trump started talking about, his son who allegedly took millions of dollars from like the Russians, and what was that about? The media never talks about that. Um, but it wasn't a good look at all for either team, I think. More so for Trump, but it doesn't look good for either of them and for all of us altogether, because it shows exactly I seen someone say that that's a reflection of what a conversation of politics looks like every day in this country. It's like we're so
Absolutely.
divided,
Hmm.
and we're so like, we're so like we're at each other's necks. It seems like that and the two leaders of the free world, or candidates for the leader of the free world, are like, how can we, let's say Biden wins, right? You can't pretend like Trump and all of his supporters don't exist. They're still here, and vice versa. You know what I mean? So like we're gonna have to learn to coexist somehow. We live in the same country, like, you know what I mean? It seems like there's a lot of tension out there. There's three more debates, and it's like, man, I'm looking forward to these debates, like the Conor McGregor Mayweather, press promotion, man, because like this is like, yo, what are they talking about? But then Trump just got COVID. That just
Right.
broke right before we
You,
got we got on
you just
podcast.
you just
Trump
told
and
me that.
First Lady
I'm
just
surprised.
Yeah, Trump and the First Lady just tested positive for COVID-19. So that's interesting because there's 5 weeks until the election. They're supposed to have like three more debates, if I'm not
So they
mistaken. A
can't
couple more
debate
debates.
then?
How is
That's
they?
what
How are they going to do this? Like they're gonna have to
they're gonna do
postpone,
that shit through Zoom, like how we're doing
bro,
it.
bro, bro. Nah. They got to do it in person for the people.
With the fucking gigantic plexiglass, like
Did someone give Trump COVID or something? Like, damn, was that a plot? Listen, he's an old man. I hope he survives that thing.
they
And
put that
yo,
shit in that Diet Coke, his Diet Coke. That's what they did. They dropped it. Just dropped it in the Diet Coke,
they just rubbed it all over his little his little podium. But yo, people like literally want this dude to die. That's crazy because it's like I don't know, and there's a lot of bias, misinformation, more bias than anything because I don't know if you got that part where there's like, and people might dislike me for this. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm trying to keep an open mind when I see these things, and I try to bring down things onto human level. But uh, I guess the mediator was like asking Trump, would you tell like white supremacists and all these kinds of groups to stand down? And Trump was like, well, name a group, like, name a group. And he was like, Proud Boys, stand by, stand down. And then people, the media, the news that came out after that was like, oh, Trump tells Proud Boys and who people for people
Yeah, he
who
doesn't
don't know
condemn white
Proud Boys.
supremacy. That's like a thing right now. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah, he's not condemning it, but
he's
it's
not
like,
disapproving white supremacy.
yeah,
That's
exactly. And
the
the whole thing
narrative right
came out
now.
because Proud Boys were like, the Proud Boys tweeted or whatever, like was on the internet, like, oh, Trump acknowledged us, and that's a big milestone or whatever. And he told us to stand by, so that means we're gonna attend HUD and stand by. That's marching orders, and that blew up, and the media about that blew up, and like, oh, he's condemning white supremacy, or he's telling his boys, his soldiers to stand by and whatnot. It blew up, and I was like, that's not really. If you watch the whole thing, it was like Trump was like, you have to look at things kind of objectively. You know what I mean? She was like, he did say, stand down, stand by, but then he was also saying, what about the radical left, Antifa? Like they seem like they're doing more of a problem out here. So there's like, it's like, man, they have two different, they have opposing sides, obviously, but
Right.
it's like
It's the
gang
extreme.
gang almost. You know what I
Yeah, it's the
mean? It's like,
gang of both
damn.
sides. So, of course, Trump is not gonna say, like I condemn, the Proud Boys. It's just because he needs their vote, and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Even whatever, his ideologies about that stuff is, which I'm assuming, whatever he's down with that shit is or whatever. But I think that he wants people to be on his side. The interesting thing about like I I can't stand the Proud Boys, dude. Like that's just for real. And I'm gonna
Mm.
say that shit straight up. Fuck y'all. Um, because it's just some dumb. There's just some dumb fucks, and honestly, it's crazy. You know how they got started, right? Like their
No, I
origin.
don't know too much about the Proud Boys, to
So,
be honest.
do you know Vice News?
Yeah, yeah,
So it
yeah.
was started by three guys, right? Shane something, some other guy, and then Gavin McInnes. I think he was on Rogan like a long time ago and stuff like that. But they were part of Vice News, right? In
Uh-huh.
covering their stuff. All of a sudden, like that Gavin dude, he just like went full right, and he said like "fuck you guys, white supremacy, all this shit."
Damn.
Like he was like saying like like how come the people are so empathetic about other races, but like they see white people as pieces of shit, blah blah blah, and we got to stand up for white power, blah blah blah, going all crazy and shit. So that's crazy how that got started. And then they also wear this, I don't know if you see their like kind of attire, not like their militia attire, but a lot of them wear black polo shirts with a yellow stripe on them. Fred Perry, that
No.
brand. But Fred Perry, that
Uh-huh.
brand, it's like it's from the UK, and it was a lot of people wore them, for their civil rights movements and stuff. It's all about unity. So they totally flipped that apparel, that color, yellow and
Oh
black,
wow.
and made it all racist and shit. And that sucks because now
Damn.
if people wear that, especially if you're white, then they're gonna assume that you're a fucking proud boy, and
Wow.
it's like a MAGA hat type thing. You wear not even
Right.
a hat that says anything on it. If it's just
If it's just a red
basic
hat.
red, oh, people gonna look at you fucking crazy.
Yeah, red hats are not in right now, man. Do not
So,
wear. That's like a target. No.
but just to, I think from the whole debate, I think Biden's stock went up just because I there wasn't like a lot of good debate going on, but I feel like Biden could get people's votes if all he said was "fuck you," or some shit
Yeah,
like "shut up, man," or "you're a clown." Like
yeah,
people love that. People are like, "Yeah, yeah," and I think that's raising his stock. I think he's doing what he can. It doesn't because he already knew it's not going to be an intellectual debate. They're not going to talk. They're
yeah.
just going to talk about Trump's tax forms and like this and that and all this bullshit.
The Russians.
They didn't even talk about COVID or anything like that. So,
No, they did. They
oh,
did talk about COVID.
oh yeah, like a little bit, right?
COVID was one of the yeah, COVID was one of the topics, but
Yeah, that's
they
why I
just
didn't
kept
watch it.
saying
But
like who did a better job and who didn't do what. It was like it's crazy because it's like it's so childish almost, you know? It's almost like wait, we can't sit you guys can't take a step back and realize that we're all in the same but I don't know, maybe it's just way too uh complicated at that level. It's not human anymore. It's like it's a lot of politics, politics because there's a lot of sides in it. There's a lot of interests and people's interests and conflicted interests and money and man, it's I I couldn't even imagine wanting to do anything in that job, but people who are really trying to make a difference, God bless them, Godspeed,
right,
because
we'll see what
that's a
happens.
lot, man.
Yeah, we'll see what happens November
We'll see what
3rd,
happens.
especially the day after. I think that's a very important date. People should mark that on their calendars. Traffic might be a little fucked up. I don't know. You might not be going to work that day. You might be crazy. We don't know what the results are going to be, but I'm going to go vote in person. I'm going to go to the portables in front of that Walmart. I'm going to go in. I'm going to vote for, who I'm going to vote for. And that's it.
Yeah, make sure you're registered. Update your registry.
Isn't that weird that you have to
They were talking. They were
register
also
to vote? Like there's a deadline to register to vote. Like, why is there a deadline?
yeah,
You know, why can't you just like, oh,
yeah,
I can't like register like a couple weeks before the election? Like, I don't know. I think that's just weird
yeah,
to me. Everybody needs a chance to vote. But what you're saying?
yeah. You're right. I don't know that whole process, but they were talking about how there's going to be a lot of mail-in ballots this year because of COVID, and that Trump was saying that he alluded that's due to because there's going to be a lot of fraud, and he even called out some instances where they found a whole bunch of military people's votes with Trump on them in dumpsters, and I don't know. He Trump talks a lot about like fake news and this and that, but I don't think he's far off to be honest. And but so they were also talking about how because there's going to be a lot of mail-in votes, that it may take them months to weeks, days to weeks to months to count them all up to get the official
He
ballots
wants to
or count.
delay the elections. He wants
Yeah.
to twist
So
the system.
no, he was complaining about that.
Oh, he's
He was
complaining
complaining
that
about
it's going
that.
to be
Yeah.
delayed, but he's
Yeah,
just
it's
still
gonna
going
be
to be
delayed
president
and that
regardless,
and
no matter what.
and he's
Till
complaining that
January.
or he just brought it up and he just alluded that it was gonna be these mail-in ballots because of COVID or there's gonna be a lot of fraud and he suggests that his supporters go to the vote to the polls and watch quote unquote watch closely and people take that you're gonna intimidate voters. People are I think people take what Trump says because of the people that are behind Trump, the stereotypical people, because trust, there are a lot of people who support Trump that don't act like the typical what you see on the media. There are a lot of people like that, a lot of intellect, a lot of smart people too. But what the media shows is all these, white supremacists and racists and whoever's as his main supporter. So when he says, I urge my supporters to go to the polls and watch closely, people automatically jump to, oh, you're telling the Proud Boys to go down there and
Go
and
beat up
intimidate
everybody
voters. And
and go beat up
yeah, and
everybody.
I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that's what he means though. I'm not sure if I'm just gonna say I'm not sure if I think I'm not sure that's what he means. And I think people take that anything that he says and they put like they just assume and they just like throw so much meaning behind it because there are people like that, you know, who support Trump. But the whole thing is the bigger picture is right. This is not a fight about personalities here. This is not a fight about which it is. It is the big thing because some of these guys are squeaky clean and so honorable and charismatic like Obama and Joe Biden. He's got nice teeth. He's got $1 million smile. You know what I mean? And he's like for the people, for you, for the people. It's about you at home and that's awesome and everything. And he hugs kids and he sniffs. Yeah. But that's great and all. That's great. Trump is not no politician. People have to remember this. Look at this objectively. Trump is not a politician. He's a businessman. What matters more, yeah. And I'm here. I hear people when they say, kindness and love that will always win, right? That will always win. But also, you know, but also what will win is plans and action and strategy and business obviously. So
Cutthroat.
if
Yep.
Biden gets in there and he like Obama, pretty, charming, well spoken, but he has a shitty ass plan, you know fucks up the economy even worse, then that's all people are going to be like in the middle of his term. People are going to be like, what the fuck did we do? I'm just saying, think about it. You know what I mean? And,
Right. But I personally
besides
don't
all the
think.
controversy that the news,
Mhm. Go
well,
ahead. Go ahead. Controversy
I'm
about
saying
the
like,
news.
there's been a lot of controversies ever since Trump has become president with things that he said and things that he's done and his attitude and snarky comments and whatnot, Russia and grab her by the pussy and this and that. But from what I've seen, the economy was booming before COVID. You know, seemed like best it's been in a long time. Then COVID hit and everything went to shit. So I don't know. Politics is not my forte. But I'm saying is don't. I don't think people's personalities should be what people focus on when it comes to politics and government because these guys aren't entertainers or celebrities. They're trying to run this country. So think about that. And people get so emotional and it's like because they identify with this and they identify with that, and it's like, but look at what these guys have done though. One, just look at what people do. Look at the action. Look at the action is what I'm saying.
For sure. And that is a big disclaimer to everybody that's listening. We're just a couple folks living in America, having our own views, our
America.
own opinions, You want to get all
Yeah,
mad, go get
man.
mad, whatever. It's cool.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
really
go.
care. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't really
But
care. Like, what? I mean,
yeah,
I
but
just don't really
I do
care.
agree. I do agree with you on some points and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I just think that these two old men are just this ain't the shit, man.
I wouldn't want to vote for either of them. Like,
Yeah.
but
And then people that say that like, okay, let's not vote for them. Like, let's vote for the Green Party. Might as well not vote
who's
at
it?
all.
Who? I don't even
Yeah,
know
nobody
who.
knows.
Yeah.
So, but it's surprising if if somebody in the Green Party were to like step up and like, if it was like, oh, fucking The Rock and Jocko Willink was the fucking independent party, and then fucking, because I think statistically, fact check, whatever, fact check is that a lot of like the people that vote Democrat and like Republican, there's this big middle. It's not independent, it's people that don't vote. Like that's the medium.
Yeah. Right.
It's people that
Mm-hmm.
don't vote. So
Mm-hmm.
imagine if these people did vote, then what would happen, But We're gonna see something interesting, um, and
Hopefully for the better, man. But
for the
hey,
better, it has to
listen,
be better.
listen.
That's
This is all a show. Also, I mean, yeah, it'll affect whoever is president and governor and this and that. It'll affect a lot of things, but it can affect what you do and how you choose to react to it. So the world's not over no matter who becomes president. Just remember that shit. Like you still have control over yourself and over your life and over your actions and how you adapt and how you react.
right,
So
right.
roll with the punches, roll with the tide, no matter what happens, no matter who's in office. To quote Kanye, no one man should have all that power.
Yep, Kanye 2024. I want to see him rise
You
from
know what I'm
the.
saying? You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
Like no more.
Oh man, but
2024, bro. Nah, fuck that
2024
shit, bro.
Kanye versus fucking I don't know, dude. I don't even. Well,
They're gonna have a
Kanye would just
versus.
Kanye would make his own fucking like
He's making
party.
his own country, I think.
He's making his own party
He's
too,
making
like
his own.
the Yeezys,
Yeah,
the Yeez,
yeah, yeah.
Yandi, whatever the fuck they want to call him. But
Yeah, he's got mad land, so he'll be all right.
yeah. Let's you sent me this clip. Let's check it out. So we stop talking about
Oh,
politics
watch
and
this. This is
stuff.
funny.
All right,
Yeah,
hold on.
yeah, yeah. Pull this
Let
up.
me share this with the world real quick.
This is what a lot of people seen when we seen the debate. This is what we seen, in our heads. So just roll it out like that.
1 second. 1 second.
So we're just talking about politics and the debate, and this is what a lot of people seen when we seen the debate. This little clip right here, what we're about to pull up. This is what people seen in their heads and heard in their heads. So.
Now everybody from the 313, put your motherfucking hands up and follow me. Everybody from the 313, put your motherfucking hands up. Look. Now while he stands tough, notice that this man did not have his hands up. The three worlds got you gassed up. Now who's afraid of the big?
Yo, Biden as B
Rabbit.
Rabbit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I
that's
thought
pretty
that was
funny.
but
Yeah. Internet is undefeated. It's
yeah,
always undefeated and shit. But
the internet will stay undefeated.
right.
But yeah, man, it's all a show. Remember, guys, it's all a show. Well, not really, but a lot of it is. So don't get too worked up over what's going on. Oh, this guy, I was listening to this guy earlier, and he was saying, I was in the gym earlier this morning getting some cardio in. Hey, by the way, cardio or any type of exercise, guys, will help prevent, illness, bitch assiness, and just maybe COVID symptoms too. Anyway, I was in there and I was listening to this guy, and he was talking about this is like he released this little vlog, like some guy that I follow. Shortly after the debate, and he was like, don't get so caught up in the news, you know what I mean? And he was right, because it's like there's some people out there, they want to be, they want to be up on everything, like every tragedy, everything that's on the news, and everything about all that's happening on CNN and Fox and MSNBC. And it's like, listen, guys, what good is all that's going on out there going to do for you? Like, what good really? Unless it's happening, like, take a good look around you. Like, take a real good look around you in your neighborhood, in your communities, in your house. That's your reality. Don't get everything off that screen and take that as your reality. Look around you and, be present and focus on you, and don't get so caught up, because that's not going to help you progress or evolve or do good for anybody. In fact, if anything, it's going to keep you living in fear and limitation, because all that's on the news is controversy and destruction and violence, and it's not when you look out the window, unless you look out the window and you don't see, unless you're in Yemen or somewhere, I mean, pardon me, like, anywhere that's like, it's really popping off and it's really dangerous. Don't feed into all that shit. Look around you and be present, and see what you can do from there. That's just all I'm going to say about that.
Preach. And apologies to our Yemen followers, that might be offended by our
Yo, Liz,
comments.
I got
But
people, and I got family in the Philippines, and that are, in worse conditions that I live in. And, I got family in the hood. I got friends in the hood right now. So it don't have to be Yemen. It don't have to be Philippines. It could be anywhere. But be aware of your surroundings and look around you, man, because that's your life. It's not on TV. It's not on the news. Your life is right there where you're at. So tune into that.
Right. Shoot, man. What else? I guess I've been jump roping a lot. That's good cardio. Jump roping.
Yeah,
I'm trying to fight Logan Paul. Trying to replace Floyd Mayweather.
What's your? Do you do how long do you jump rope for?
I do intervals. So I have this app called Cross Rope, which is free. But if you pay like $10 $10 a month, you get what do you call it? You get more workouts, premium workouts. But it's like this. It's like you jump rope 30 seconds, then you do push-ups for 30 seconds. You rest for 20 seconds, and then you repeat that. And then they do this thing where they have multiple ropes. Like they have usually a regular jump rope is like a quarter pound, but that they have a half pound, a pound. I have a pound rope. Dude, that shit's hard, man, because you're working so hard, heavy, and then your forearms and your shoulders just start burning like crazy. Like you just do for 30 seconds, 5 times.
For how long? For
these workouts are probably in total 15 to 25 minutes maximum. 25 minutes maximum, but
that's good though. That's pretty much what you need.
Yeah, because it does you do body squats and you do fucking mountain climbers, bear crawls. Yeah, it's painful. It sucks, but I think I feel really good after that. But it's just that initial getting into it, I think
you got to get your body warmed up for sure. Stretch,
or just I think it's a mental thing, in my opinion, just to put your shoes on and then be like, okay, let's go, let's do this. And I think it applies to everything else. Like you're doing a project, like what we're doing.
Exactly.
Like what we're doing. I've been learning Adobe Illustrator lately. I've never really tapped into that, and I took a 5-hour class today, or in the past couple of days, just to learn the essentials, the bare basics, and I think I learned a lot from it. But I was dreading it because you're just sitting here watching fucking
it's
videos.
Tedious. There's a lot of detail. There's a lot of little things, but that's the hard part, is the boring stuff. And like how you were saying earlier, when it comes to working out, I like it or exercising, because it seems like it's only 30 to 45 to an hour at the most, maybe, if you're going longer than that, then you're trying to be a fucking triathlete. But I'm just saying, it's a focused, it's not that much time, is what I'm saying, out of your day, but it's a focused effort it's a focused, concentrated effort, and that translates, like how you said, into other areas of your life, like working on a project, or it translates, because you're doing hard stuff, and when you're exercising and you're developing your constant, unless you're checking your phone between every set or something like that. But if you can just put your phone down and dedicate a blocked off amount of time for exercise, then I think you'll be surprised by what you can also do, because that will translate into homework and projects and whatever else you're doing. So, and plus you'll feel, like you said, you'll feel better. I mean, who the fuck are we talking? We're not health experts, right? But I'm just saying,
we're trying to feel better,
Yeah. And if you're and if we've been locked up in quarantine, and if you're just laying on the couch all day, that's not good for you. If you're just drinking every other day, and just not having any form of exercise or getting there, you're gonna sick and wither away, man. You're not gonna feel good. You're not gonna want to do shit. So we're just telling you guys what we do, and that's it. And to feel good and to be productive, and you got to do these things. We're animals, man. We're made to move and do shit.
Mm-hmm.
So keep doing shit. Train for life. Train. Don't train to train to live, so that you can have energy, so that you can be productive, so that you can have so that you can feel good most of all.
Amen. Preach. Hallelujah. And on that note,
hallelujah.
We're going to end this off, and we'll see you guys next week. Anything else you want to say, Mark?
Yes, sir. Nah, guys, just stay grounded, stay focused, and keep calm, because it's all going to be going on, no matter what. It's all going to work out. So till next week, folks, To Reserve Podcast, Stephen Mack, signing off.